A mixture of emotions playing out. Parents worried about the fate of their daughters, fearing that their kin could be among the 7 girls who perished in an inferno at Moi Nairobi Girls High School early Saturday morning. Nairobi Police Commandant Japheth Koome, trying with little success to keep off some parents who had demanded to gain access to the burnt dormitory to pick the bodies of their children for burial.
Come on, you Kenyans, what's wrong with you? Are you going to stand here looking at us? Give us the answers, give us the answers. Where are the bodies?
It is true, I've told you, we have deaths. Some of the bodies, it is the truth, it is the reality. Some are burnt beyond recognition. We have experts there. We have the government chemists. We have the pathologists.
With some engaging in a back and forth with police and being overcome by emotion, this lady police officer dropping her baton and lending a shoulder to lean on to a parent engulfed by grief. Former nominated Senator Beatrice Elachi having to calm this lady down, whose anger towards Japheth Koome was clearly visible.
The fire engine came 1 hour later. That is not in doubt.
Parents who came for their children expressing concerns over the disaster preparedness of the public school system in the country.
We need some answers as parents to lose our dear ones. It's really traumatizing.
It's such a disheartening day. So much has happened.
The scene of the accident cordoned off by police, only a few officials allowed through. The burnt structure visible from afar. While NASA presidential candidate and former Lang'ata Member of Parliament Leila Odinga was allowed through, police engaged in an altercation with some of his aides who wanted access to the facility.
It is a very, unpleasant scene to behold. But I'm told there are 8 charred bodies which are in there. They are doing DNA tests so that they can be able to establish who is who in there. We really, I appreciate the reason why they have cordoned off the area. This is the headmistress.
The principal of the school, who was in the company of leaders who had visited the scene, was too traumatized to speak. Kibra MP Ken Okoth asking the ministry to quickly step in and take care of the emotional well-being of the children.
Rebuilding a dormitory is not a big challenge. We will be able to do that through the cooperation of the ministry, the county government, but it will be very hard to get back their lives, and I think everybody can, out of fairness and human dignity, appreciate the trauma and the challenges that the families are facing.
You are our creator, our redeemer, and our...
The girls gathering at the sports field early in the morning and praying for their friends and schoolmates while still in shock at what had happened.
We have criminal investigations teams there. We have the police in their full capacity there. We have the government forensic teams led by the government, the chief chemist and the chief pathologist, because we want to get to the bottom of it. I also want to convey condolences from His Excellency the President, who is very saddened about what has happened and instructed us to be here. And he insisted that all the teams must be here and investigate that matter until we get the bottom of it.
While the country comes to terms with the fire tragedy that has happened early morning at the Moi Nairobi Girls High School, many are asking questions of how the Ministry of Education was able to tackle the issue of disaster preparedness in schools.
The forgotten report on school fires. We believe that, I think that report did be made public so that other schools who are now suffering the same fate we saw, perhaps they could have avoided.
CJ David Maraga visiting the school and chatting with the Principal Secretary for Basic Education, Dr. Belio Kipsang, before he left. Parents making their way into the classrooms to sign out their children who were not allowed back into the dormitory. All they could gather were their books and head home, some in their sleeping clothes. Form 4 students will be expected back on 8th September, while the rest of the girls take a 2-week break and get back on the 15th. Leila Mohammed, NTV.